What's up YouTube, this is SHUTTLE, the best golf swing YouTuber ever, back with yet another video. Start of a new series that I'm gonna call Golf Cares. I noticed a lot of you guys have been asking for videos on like how do I clean this, how do I take care of like certain golf related pieces. Just decided why don't I just make videos on all the sort of things. So you guys can leave comments down below of certain things that you guys want to make sure I cover. A lot of them I probably already know, but I'd love for you guys just to comment them down below just to make sure that I do them. Today's episode is going to be on cotton pieces, Eric Stripe Polo. We're going to use as an example. With all these cotton pieces, they tend to shrink up quite a bit, at least from golf. I noticed this is a huge issue, and I'm sure a lot of other people had this issue, but I know it's something I have had a long time problem with. And there's some ways to actually preventing it or fixing it even too if it's already happened. With this Eric Stripe Polo, I got it in a large. I am a large. Everything I wear is pretty much in large or XL. And yeah, it fit fine. All golf tends to fit kind of loose. And yeah, I love that fit about it, and it fit perfectly. But then after washing it once or twice, started to shrink, and it ended up fitting more like a medium. I found some ways to solve this, and I'm just gonna show a quick way on how you can fix that issue, and then I'm also gonna explain how to prevent that issue. So how to prevent that issue with something like this cotton-based Eric Stripe Polo. Like I was saying, this will work with anything that's cotton-based with golf, other than t-shirts. I guess it would sort of work with t-shirts shrinking, but it's more for these like thicker cotton things that tend to shrink up more, like sweatshirts. The crew necks would be a great example as well. Rugbies, polos, all those kind of things. So when you're going to wash this, there's gonna be an option on your washer that's gonna be perm press is what it'll be labeled. Or I know everybody has a different washer, but it should be something similar to that. It's just a really light wash, and I recommend just putting not too many items with it. I'm not saying put it only by itself, just so then it's not all focused on that one item. That does help just kind of distribute everything in the washer. Then as soon as it's done with that, that should only take about 30 minutes, but then after that, I would just take it out, put it on a hanger, and then just hang it to dry. Don't put it in a dryer. I think the dryer is the biggest issue, is a lot of people put this in the dryer, and pretty much any setting you put it in the dryer, it usually does not work out very well. The safest and just best way of doing this is just putting it up to hang to dry. I know some people might live in colder environments, so just hang it up like in your basement next to wherever your laundry is. That's what I do. Obviously you can do it in the sun as well, but I think doing it indoors is actually kind of the better way to do it. Then when doing that, also to prevent issues like the collar being super wrinkly or anything, this method helps that quite a bit. Now, yeah, the collar can sometimes get all wrinkly or just not have that normal smooth, clean form. And I know that's an issue with a lot of people that wash their polos, that can happen. And basically if you put it on a hanger and then it'll already still be wet right after you get it out of the washer. If you put it on a hanger and then just smooth it out with your hand on both sides, and you can stretch it out too, that'll really help it as well. Just make sure that when you get it out of the washer and put it on the hanger, make it look perfectly how you want the collar to look, and then leave it on the hanger hanging like that. With that perfect look. Then it'll slowly dry and it'll just conform to that shape that you put it on. Now if you want to fix one, if it ended up shrinking like it did to me with this one, you're gonna go ahead and do that wash on the perm press again, which is basically just a light cold wash. After that, you're gonna do the same thing that we were just talking about. You're gonna put it on a hanger, you're gonna do the same thing with the collar and everything, but then after putting it on a hanger, you're gonna grab it. It's still gonna be wet, so make sure you do this after it's wet, like right after you wash it, and you're just gonna stretch on it. Wherever the main issue is that's shrinking, maybe it's the sleeves, you're just gonna yank on the sleeves while it's wet and just stretch it a lot. Also make sure to stretch it from all directions, from all angles, basically because you might stretch it in one spot, but that doesn't stretch it over on the inside of the sleeve. Or if you're stretching on the bottom of this per se, say you're stretching here, you better stretch over here or everywhere from the front and the back just to make it even. You don't have to worry about it too much, but it's just smarter to do that, and you're gonna get a lot more length out of it when you do stuff like that to each aspect equally. Don't be afraid to stretch it too much. The more you stretch it, the better. Yeah, and I just think this is a great way of fixing it. I just did it actually not that long ago, like a couple days ago, to this exact polo, and it did add like a good inch and a half back to it. It's not gonna get any longer than what it already was typically. We'll be able to get it back to what it was usually. After doing those methods, then you have to do what I was saying previously with washing it and wash it that same way every single time. It'll still shrink up every once in a while, but you're gonna do that same strategy with stretching it out, and that should help you out every time. I know it's a bit redundant, but with these golf pieces, they're not made all that well. They're not made to really last that long either. So that's kind of the only way that you can really do this and keep it fitting the exact same way if you plan on washing it constantly, which I recommend. You can also do something that a lot of people do with like hats, for instance, when they're trying to get those fitted. You can fit this say on the back of a chair. Just put this over the back of a chair, and that can stretch it out some too if you need that width more. I know that's something I've seen a lot of people do, and I know it does work. I just don't really have that issue because I'm skinny. But just anything that keeps it stretching when you're in that wash period, that's what's really gonna help you the most. So that's pretty much gonna conclude this video, guys, on how to wash these cotton-based golf pieces, and as well how to maintain and how to fix that shrinking issue you may or may not have with that golf piece that you really like. Please hit that thumbs up button if you enjoyed this video, guys, and found it informative as well. Please subscribe if you haven't already for more golfing news, pickups, and more videos like this Golf Cares video, and all kinds of other things coming soon from me. And this is SHUTTLE, the best golf weighing YouTuber ever. I'm out, guys. Peace.